Hi folks, so in this video what we're going to be doing is completing the final parts of the Lego Man. This is the third video in this little series here, and where we were previously on the last video, which was the second video, was we got up to this stage here, okay, where we had completed the bottom portion and the top portion with the arms and the neck. Now the first thing we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to be creating the head, then we're going to be creating one of the hands, we're going to mirror that hand over, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add little features here to give a little smiley face or a sad face or whatever it is you want. Okay, so that's where we're going to be getting. Now, to go on those stages, I'm just going to close this one down. This is the stage of where we were previously on the last video. So starting off, I want to do a sketch on the right plane. Now, the reason I'm selecting the right plane is because the right plane is in the middle of the neck. As you can see there, it's passing through the middle of the neck. And that's going to help us revolve a sketch around the neck to create the head. So if I click right plane and click on sketch, this little box here. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to start off by grabbing a line. So go to my sketch tab, click on the line tool. If you click the down arrow, you can select it here as well. And what I want to do is I want to start a middle, right in the middle here of this line. So easiest way to do that is, I'll just zoom in here. If you hover over this line here at the top, you can see when I hover over it, the midpoint comes up. That's where I want to start. So make sure and hover over the top part here and then select on the midpoint to start. So I'm going to start off by clicking there, left click, let go, drag up. I want to do a vertical line up to about here, go out to about here, then up, then out, then down. Make sure you don't go in line with this guy. Go straight down, but go a little bit further, and then out, then down, and then in, doesn't matter how far, then down onto this line, and then bring it home. There we go. And as you can see, there's my sketch. Sorry, press escape there to deactivate, apologies. There's my sketch, okay? And what I want to do now is I want to dimension that to spin it around. So I'm going to go to my sketch tool, smart dimension, and I'm going to press space bar and click on this little icon here, just to bring me back to it. Okay, the overall height I want from this line here down to this line is 12. So if I click on this line, drag up, click on this line, drag out, I want that to be 12. Okay, that's looking a little bit funny, but don't worry, we'll be able to fix that. Now I want the height difference from this line up to this line. Click on this line, drag up, click on this line. That can give me a height difference between the two of them. Looking at my measurements here, I want that to be 1. That's looking a little bit better. Now what I want to do is I want the height difference from this line to this line. I want that to be 1.5. Okay. The next thing I want is I want the distance from here to here, okay, the horizontal distance. So if I select this line and select this line, that's saying 4.12 now. I want to change that to 5. Okay, now the next distance that I want is the distance from here, click on this line to here, and I want this to be 3. And then if I click on this line and drag up, I want this to be 1. Okay, we're getting there. Now all I have to do is give a little couple of dimensions down here. This line here, I also want to be 3. So I'll click on the line, drag down, I want that to be 3. And then I want the height of this line, click on it, drag out to be 1.5. And there we are, we're fully defined once again. There's our little sketch. Now, if I revolve that, it will look like kind of like a Lego head, but it's kind of got these sharp edges here. Now on a standard Lego head, you would obviously have rounded edges. So we want to create those. So if we go to our sketch icon, we're going to go to this guy here, it's called a sketch fillet. If I select that there. Now entities to fillet, we're going to select those, but the distance is not 10. We're going to change this to 1. Just 1 and press enter. Now what we're going to do is we're going to select, I'm in 3D, it doesn't matter if you're in 3D or 2D kind of view. I'm going to select this edge here. If you select the corner, you can see what comes up is a little guide of what it's going to look like. So if I select the corner, there's 1. I'm also going to come down here and select this one, 2. I'm happy with those, so I'm going to click on the green arrow to accept. There we go. Now I want to do another one, but this time I want to set a different dimension. This time my dimension I want is 0.25, press enter. And very important here, I'm going to do it inside here, so at this edge here, click on that. I'm also going to do it down here, click on that, and at the very, very tip top. Don't think I'll actually do it on that one, I'll leave that one. Click on the green arrow to accept. And there we have it. Okay, that's the shape I want for the head, and now I'm going to spin that around using a revolve tool. So I'm going to close this down now, click on the X to close. I'm going to go to my features, I'm going to select revolve boss base, and very important that I select the correct line. I want this line here as my axis. So in the axis of revolution box, make sure that you select this line here. Click on this line, and then there's the head. It's going to take shape there, but very important, before we actually accept that, make sure to untick the merge result box. So if I untick that and click on the green arrow to accept, there we go. There is our little Lego man's head, okay, after being created. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the hands. But before I do that, I'm going to rename this feature. So in Revolve, I'm going to click on it, press the F2 button on the keyboard, or alternatively, after you click on it, click on it again, and it'll allow you to change. I'll go to the start of that, and I'm going to say head revolve 1. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the hand here and start a sketch. Now this is a little bit of a tricky sketch, okay, so take your time with this. To start off, I need a surface to draw on, and the surface I'm going to select is that surface there. So to do that, I'm going to click on the surface and click sketch. So very important, we're selecting this surface on the arm over here. So if I select that surface and click on sketch, now straight away it's after bringing us into an angle that's kind of looking straight down at that surface. So if I go to my sketch tab here, select a line, but very important, this time I'm going to select a center line. So click on the drop down arrow and click center line. Now for that center line, I'm going to start somewhere about here on the line. Not here, not at that point there, over here a little bit. So I'm going to click there, and then I'm going to drag out. Now see there how it's mapping parallel with that kind of line there, which is parallel with this line. Make sure when you go out parallel to those, okay? I'm going to click there, around there, and press escape to deactivate. I'm going to do a few dimensions here now. The first dimension I do, okay, is, well, actually before I do a dimension, I'm going to make sure it's parallel, just in case you made a mistake on your screen. So what you could do to do that is, if you click on the line, just click on it once, let go, and then hold down the control button on the keyboard, which is the button at the bottom left of your keyboard titled CTRL. So click on the line, hold down control, click on this line, and make sure you click on this icon here that says parallel. And now those lines are parallel. Now I'm going to go to dimension. Sketch, smart dimension. I want the distance from this line to this line here. I want the gap between them to be 1.1. And then I want the length of the line. Just checking here now. Make sure you don't do it going out like this. Make sure you do it going that way. I want the length of that line to be 2.75. And press enter. Okay, now very important here. So that line there, 2.75, that there is now a center point I'm going to use for a circle. So click on sketch, click on circle. And in there, I'm going to do a circle. Just roughly about out to there. I'm going to start off by smart dimensioning that. That circle there, I want it to be 3.25. 3.25. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to offset that circle. So I'm going to go to my sketch tab, offset entities. I'm going to change the dimension here to 0.5 and press enter. Click on the circle. And what you notice is another circle has come outside it, and the gap to that circle is 0.5. I do not want it outside, I want it inside. So click on reverse over here. And click on the green arrow to accept. Okay, now we've got our two circles that are going to help us make our hand. To do that though, we need two more lines. I'm going to click on this guy here. I'm going to click on line. So sketch tab, line. From the center point of the circle, I'm going to do a line down here at an angle, going out to the large circle circumference, the bigger one, not the little one, the bigger one. Do it at any angle at the moment, roughly make it out to about here. Now I'm going to press escape. I'm going to go back up to my line, sketch tab, line tool. I'm going to do it the exact same when I go into the opposite side. Press escape. Now what I need to do is I need to apply some dimensions. So if I go to my sketch tab, smart dimension, excuse me, I want the angle here between this line here, click on the line, and then come down and click on this line. I want that angle to be 120 degrees. So click into the space, 120, enter. I also want the exact same on the opposite side. Click on the line, click on Sorry, do that again. So I'm going to click on this line, click on this line, 1, 2, 0, enter. Okay, you can see we're fully defined. Now what we're going to do is we're going to delete a portion of this hand. So I'm going to go sketch, trim entities, and then you can see here if you click and hold, you can kind of drag a line around the place. I want to drag that through these two lines here. So click, hold, left click, hold, 1, 2, and I'm also going to do it inside here, 3 and 4. Okay, now you can see here my sketch is now not fully defined anymore. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to add in a couple of more dimensions. I'll actually go sketch, and hopefully this will work. If I go sketch and grab a line tool, but this time a center line, and continue the center line from here, from this point here, into the center, and do the exact same to the other side. Okay, it's actually making me, I think I have to dimension it. If I go smart dimension, probably have to dimension it to the origin. So if I click on this point and then click on the origin, I put a dimension between the two of those, 9.07. Yeah, there's one. And if I do another one here, click on maybe this point here, click on the origin. I'm going to do a height between these two, 6.25. There we go. Okay, so there's our sketch kind of floating in midair. Now what I want to do is I want to make a hand out of that. So to do that, I'm going to go to Features, Extrude Boss Base. Now I have a couple of little different things. Okay, you can see it's going the wrong way there. So to change that direction, I can click on this arrow here. But obviously that's way too big at the moment. So, and I also think it shouldn't be exactly in line with that surface. So I'm going to do two things here. Instead of saying sketch plane, we're going to select offset. So in the from section, we're going to click on offset. We're going to change the distance here to 0.25. And what you'll actually see here is it's actually jumped up above the sketch. Now I want to reverse that. So click it. If it goes above your sketch, you can see mine has kind of slightly gone above it there. There's my sketch. It's gone above it, 0.25. I want it to go below it before it starts. So click on this arrow. If it goes above it, you click on this arrow. If it goes below it, you don't have to select it. And watch this when I select it. There we go. So if it's above it, just make sure that it goes below the sketch. Now, that distance there, I just want it to be 3 millimeters. So offset 0.25, blind is okay. We're going to set this at 3 millimeters. There we go. Okay, there's my hand. Okay, before I start it, and what I want to do is I want to untick the merge result box. Okay, so if I untick that merge result box, and now I'm happy with that, click on the green arrow to accept. Okay. So there's my hand, the starting bit, but obviously I need the bit that's going to go inside there. So what we're actually going to do now is we're going to start a sketch from the inside. This is the awkward part here. You kind of have to rotate it around so you can select the inside face there. See how I'm selecting the inside face of the hand. So that's the face I want to draw on. So I'm going to select that face inside there that's going inside this surface here. Okay, inside that hole. So to do that, I want to sketch there. So rotate around till you get to it. So click on the face, click on sketch. And all we're going to do straight away then is we're going to click on convert entities. Okay, so we're going to go up here, sketch, click on convert entities. Now if you have already this face selected, it'll probably work for you. Okay, so some of you might have it already highlighted blue there, and if you go up to sketch and click convert entities, there you go. All that's after happening is the circles after coming in on that. Now, if the face wasn't highlighted blue, I'm going to do Control Z there, and let's say we're in a sketch, but it's not highlighted blue, what you do is you click Sketch, Convert Entities, and all you do, look, it's saying Entities Convert, go in here and select the circumference of the back face there, click on the green arrow to accept, and there we have it. Now what we're going to do is we're simply going to extrude that up to surface. So Features, Extrude Boss Base, and all we're going to do there now is say, instead of blind, I'm going to change it to up to next. And as you can see there, instead of blind in here, direction 1, I said up to next, and you can see there it's after joining onto the hand. Click on the green arrow to accept. Okay, now we'll actually go back into that, just edit feature, and instead of, oh yeah, this has just made a slight error here, so apologies. So if I want to fix something, there's the hand, there's the arm part I suppose, but if I want to fix something in this part that I just did here, I can click on it down here in my design tree in the bottom left, and go edit feature. Now it's very important, I just want it to be a part of the hand, not the overall body. As you can see, it's coming up in green there. So when I select it up to next, merge results, I'm actually going to untick all of these guys. Click on them here and click delete on your keyboard, which is very close. You see the word DELETE. Okay, click on all these. Now, very important, when I say select the bodies, make sure auto select is unselected. And all you want to do is in here, in this space, click on the hand. And you'll see boss extrude will come in, click on the green arrow to accept. Merge result is ticked this time. There we go. Okay, now technically if I wanted to isolate that hand to work on it, I could right click on it and click on isolate, the hand will just come in on its own. I'll exit my isolate there now. It might be up here on your screen, so you just have to find it. There we go. Now I want to make that hand on the opposite side. So all we're going to do is we're going to mirror that over. But before I do that, I'll actually rename my feature here. So I'm going to boss extrude, click on it, press F2, 2 buttons in from the escape key. I'm just going to say hand 1. And then for boss extrude 2, click on it, press F2. Hand 1 extends, because that's the part that extends out. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to copy those over to mirror those. So I'm going to go features.
Do you know what cleaner comes in here?
Glasses.
The curly haired one or the thinner bird?
Thinner, I think. Glasses and blonde hair. Yeah, is that okay? You're all right. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, apologies. Anyway, there we go. Okay, so we're going to mirror that over. So if I go to mirror and I click on that, first of all, I need a plane, so I'm going to use the right plane. So if we click on the arrow here, click on right plane. Okay, and what I want to do is I'll go features to mirror. So don't worry about secondary face mirror plane. Click on features to mirror. I'm going to go down here to my object, click on this guy, and you can see it's coming in. And I'm also going to click on this one, and you can see they go in there. Now, very important here, I don't think, if I click on the green arrow, yeah, it's not working. See there, rebuild errors. But if you click on geometry pattern as well, in geometry pattern, and now click on the green arrow, so geometry pattern, click on the green arrow, there we go. Okay, so there we have it. There is our hand. And now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to create the face, okay, which is a split line. Okay, so to do that, what I'm actually going to do is, just thinking here, single direction, I need a plane that's in the middle. Okay, so if I need to actually set up a new plane here, just thinking now. So front plane, yeah, I need a new plane here. So that front plane, I'm going to do a new plane here at the front of it. So I'm going to set it up in the middle, yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go features, reference geometry, plane. Now, my first reference is going to be front plane. Now, I don't want it to go out that far. You can see the new plane has come in there. I'm only going to set it out as far as, I'm going to set a distance here. Instead of 10, I'm going to go about 4. I think that should be in the middle. There you go. It's gone right into the middle. Perfect. I'm going to click on the green arrow to accept. There's my perfect plane. It's called plane 2. Okay, and I'm going to draw on that plane. So if I click on plane 2 and click on sketch, okay, now what I want to do is I want to draw in a face. Okay, it doesn't matter what the face looks like, it's your own choice here. So if I click on sketch, I'm going to start off with a center line, and from the middle, from here, I'm going to go down to about here. Okay, there's my center line. Now from that center line I'm going to do a circle. So click on the circle tool to give it an eye. About there. Smart to mention that. I'm going to say, we go with 1, perfect, and then I'm going to set the distance from here to here to be 2, and then the distance from the center point up to this line to be, go with 1.75. Okay, so there is that part of the eye. Now this time, instead of a smiley face, I'm going to go with kind of like an angry face. So to do that, there's a little way here to do it. So in the line tool, if I click on the drop down arrow and click on center line, I'm actually going to start, just thinking here, I'm going to start about here. So about there. So from the midpoint, I'm going to come down a little bit. I'm going to go down like this. So I'm going to go down at an angle. up at an angle. You can see here, very important, I'll zoom in there, you can see how it's mapping onto the same height, perfect, down at an angle, map it onto the same height, up at an angle, and then I'll go down about halfway there, out there, perfect. Not sure what it'll look like, but we'll give it a go. Now, what I want to do with that, I'm not going to be worrying about dimensions here or anything like that, fully defining this, because this is just playing around making the mouth. What I want to do with that is I want to mirror those over. So before I do that, I'm going to go sketch, offset entities, and very important here, when I set offset entities, actually it's already set on 0.5, that's perfect. So if it's not set at 0.5, make sure and change parameters here to 0.5. And what we're going to do is we're going to select this line. You can see here, I'm going to click on this line, this line, this line, and this line. I'm also going to select then bidirectional. Okay, and cap ends. Okay, we'll just see how this is looking in a second actually. So I'll actually close that before I accept that. Just thinking 0.5 is actually a bit too big. I'm happy with everything I've selected there, but I'm going to change this to 0.25. That actually looks a little bit better. Okay, now that I've done that, click on the green arrow to accept. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to close that off. So I'm going to go to my sketch tools, I'm going to get a 3-point arc, sorry, a center point arc actually. Yeah, center point arc. And so make sure when you're in sketch, you select a center point arc. Then after selecting that, press escape there, sorry. Sketch, center point arc, click on this part here of the mouth. Do it out to here and close it up. Okay, now all I'm going to do now here is extend on this line here a little bit. You'll see it here. This one I needed to meet up to there. So I'll click on the line. Hopefully I can extend it. There we go. I've extended that and I'm going to trim this line. So go trim entities. And there we go. Okay, so there's kind of our little face. I'm going to mirror those over now. So sketch, mirror entities, entities to mirror. I'm going to select the eye, and I have to select all of these lines except the middle line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Select the arc. This one, and this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select mirror about and click on this line. And there we go. And click on the green arrow to accept. Now, some stuff is after coming in tricky there. I'll click on, might actually have to change that face there, apologies now. I'll go with a normal face. If that didn't work, it's just some stuff is after happening there. So I'm going to go sketch. I'll just stick with the smiley face. That's me getting a little bit too overcomplicated. So if I go in here, I'm just thinking I'll go to ellipse. It's a handy one. I'll do an ellipse here. Now, to do the ellipse, I'm going to come here, I'm going to click on the center line, go up, actually I'll go out first, out to there, and then I'll go up. There we go. So there's my ellipse. Now what I want to do is I want to make that for construction. So if I click on sketch, I'm going to click on the line, center line, from here over to here. And what I want to do is go trim, sketch, trim entities, get rid of that part, get rid of that part. And the next thing I want to do is I want this line here to be a center line. So to change that, if I click on the line and then click on this icon here in options for construction and click on the green arrow to accept. Okay, now we've got a construction line. So what I want to do now is now I'm going to go sketch, offset entities, 0.25 is fine, and click on this line. Okay, there we are, probably a little bit easier. Click on cap ends, and we're going to leave arcs on. If you put lines, it'll just do a line, but I'm going to use arcs. Okay, click on the green arrow to accept. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror over the eyeball. So sketch, mirror entities, select the eye, click on mirror about, click on the center line, click green arrow to accept. There we have it. So you can see our sketch is in the middle of our screen there, okay, or in the middle of the face. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to exit my sketch. Click on the blue icon up here in the top right. Okay, there's my sketch in the middle. I want that to be projected onto the front face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use what's called a split line. So if you go to features, and go to curves, and you can see this tool here called a split line. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the sketch in selections. I'm going to come down all the way to the bottom and select sketch 17, or you could just click it here as well on your screen. You literally click it here and it will go in there, or you could go down here and select it. Then it's asking me to select the face in here. I'm going to select this face, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to say single direction, and I'm going to change. You can see the arrow in here now. I don't want it to go backwards, okay? I want it to go the opposite way. So if you click on the arrow reverse direction, it's going out to the front, and click on the green arrow to accept. And there we go. We're after projecting, okay, a sketch from the middle, okay, that's after going onto the front face. Now I'm going to hide this plane. So click on it and click hide. And there's our guy, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to add some color just to finish it off. So on the legs, I'm going to go with blue legs like I did in the previous one. So if you right click on this, go up to the color wheel here, click on the drop down arrow. I'm going to say body, okay, click on body for the leg. And I'm actually just going to use colors over here. So I'm going to go with that guy there. Okay, it's the third one down. I'll also select this one, and I'll select this one. You can see they're all coming in. I don't have to do them individually by faces. Click on the green arrow to accept. Okay, now I'm going to do the top bit. So if you right click, click on the drop down arrow, I'm going to click on body. This time I'm going to go with a red, go with the third one down. There's that one. I'm going to click on the arm and the arm. Okay, so there's that bit done. Green arrow to accept. I'm now going to do, oh, that one's after coming in, but I'll just do them separately. I'm going to do the hands now. So on this one, I do think I actually have to select the faces. Might actually be boss extrude. So right click on this side. On this one here, I'm going to click on the mirror. Yeah, I'm going to click on mirror. I'm going to select yellow, which is the third one down. There we go. And I'll also select this guy here and here. There we go. So there's our yellow guys gone in. Okay, click on the green arrow to accept. And oh, I should have done the face there now that I think of it. So I'm going to right click up here, appearances. I'm going to do body, and I will do the third one down, yellow again. Now that's gone fully yellow, accept that. Now the only thing I have to do is add in a little bit of color for the eyes. Now if your sketch is still visible there, you can go to the split line here, down here on the bottom right, on the bottom left, and you can see your sketch there. Now my sketches are, it's actually hidden there, it shouldn't be shown. Actually go up here to the eyeball symbol and click on this little icon here that says view sketches, and you can turn those off. Now in here, here and here, I want black. So if I click on that, click on face, and I want that to be black, so I come down here to the bottom right. I'm also going to click inside the mouth and click inside the eyeball. And there we go. Okay, green arrow to accept. And there you have it, guys. That there is our Lego man. Okay, fully completed with a little bit of features added on the face. Apologies there, when I was doing that, I was trying to make kind of like a crazy little angry face there. If you want, come up with something completely random yourself, okay, as long as it is an enclosed area, you can come up with your own little design there. Okay, that's the idea there, guys. I hope you found that helpful. That is the Lego man completed using the multi-body approach, whereby in another video I'll come back and we will make out the individual parts. Okay, so there we have it.